Good morning.
I know, we haven't seen you guys in a couple of weeks. We had a little...
We're here.
Yeah, we're here. You know, Shannon and I are both extremely busy. We have a lot going on. We're trying to juggle so many things. Mm-hmm. And you know what I said last week in her? I said, you know what? We're just going to have to skip a week.
Yep.
And you know what? It'll be okay.
Yes. No need for gory details. You get it.
Right.
Kids, health, people.
Yeah, so much going on. So anyway, we are here and we wanted to talk about Mother's Day today because it is tomorrow. If you're watching this live and you're a mother, we want to give you a huge shout out.
Yes.
But this came up because Shannon had recently read an article. Is it a friend of yours?
Yes. Sarah Deddens has, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but she's developed this website called fairytalesandcalamities.com.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't it great? And I had no idea what an incredible writer that she is, but man, she is so good. And she wrote this article called Why Mother's Day Sucks.
Oh.
And I was like, you know, of course, the whole world's probably like, ooh, ow, right?
Ow.
Like, you know, like, relax.
Yeah.
But God, she was right on the money. And what she talks about is, number one, what about the mommies that can't have babies? Oh,
yeah, it's a hard day for them.
Very hard day. And what I want to say to those mommies is keep trying, because I've had those mommies in my office and I've said to them, like, just, you never know. They're like, well, but 3 miscarriages, 4 miscarriages, and many of my girls have babies now and multiple babies. And so
I have a girlfriend going through that right now, and it's so hard. She's been going through it for years and thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's just brutal. You know, it is brutal.
It's so painful. So that process, I mean, I cannot imagine. I was like infuriated and off the charts because it took me 4 months to get pregnant. I mean, every month was like, what is going on? You know,
you see these, especially
horrible.
in my business, you see all of these people that don't seem to care about their kids. You know, you hear about these stories and you just, and the people that really want them and would do anything for them. It's it's heartbreaking.
I love those beautiful stories. I have a beautiful story among my circle of a child that was born to addiction and abuse and all of that, and his mom passed away from addiction, and then he was taken in by a distant cousin in the family, who they had been trying, were trying to adopt, and it was just so beautiful because he was literally their blood.
Yeah.
Oh, just delicious. And then they adopted a baby girl like a year later, and the picture just made me cry every time. So please, if you are in that situation, just keep manifesting your dreams, keep focusing on hope, because can you imagine that family? She could have never imagined that she would have inherited one of the cutest little boys I have ever seen in my life. I mean, this kid is like amazing. Yeah. And to inherit him and then this beautiful little girl, I mean, you just can't imagine the miracles that can come through. So please stay in hope and faith and continue to imagine your life with children. But that's definitely one reason that Mother's Day can suck.
Yeah, the other one that you were telling me before, because you were telling me about this.
Yes.
Hi, Jessica. Mother's Day is so hard for me because my mom has never really been a part of my life. I've tried. Yeah.
Yes.
See, that's another reason Mother's Day sucks for people. I mean, if you don't have a good relationship with your mother, or if your mother has not been in your life, that is very difficult. For my friend Tina, Mother's Day is so difficult because she lost her mother several years ago, and that's Mother's Day. You know, brings up all of those emotions again for people who have lost their mother.
Yes, and I've already forgotten the third one. Because that, you know why?
Right.
It's your fault, Jessica. No, because that's such a great one. Like when your whole life have had a dream of this relationship with your mom and you can't have it, which I have to pause for a minute because we talked about signs last time, and there's butterflies outside right now, and that's my grandmother's symbol to me, and it's Mother's Day that we're talking about, and she was very much a second mom to me, so that just caught me off guard. But you know, that's the thing too, is like those signs for Tina, letting her know her mom is still with her. But that is so hard because the person is here and you're craving to have a relationship with them, and you can't get to them. I just remember the third one. My sweet friend that wrote the article, Sarah Deddens, lost her baby boy.
Oh yeah.
And so I think 2 years old. And so Mother's Day is very painful for moms that lose their children, because as she referenced in her amazing article, that who am I? Am I a mom? I was a mom, you know, and so
and it was her only child.
It was her only. She does have a boy now who's precious, but for a while there, 2 or 3 years, that was it, you know, and so it's very tough.
That was tough.
Very
you know,
tough.
I also wanted to talk about this because it's so funny. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and you know, everyone asked me yesterday for some reason, what are you doing for Mother's Day? And I really just laugh at that question, because I never grew up where we really celebrated Mother's Day. And I don't know if it just wasn't a big deal when I was a kid. Like, I feel like it's become more of a big deal, more commercialized, I guess.
Hallmark has made sure of that.
And all the brunch places are making a lot of money off of Mother's Day.
Mom.
But, you know, it's so funny. I tell people, I don't want to do anything. Like, it's just nice to just not have to do anything, not have to plan anything. In fact, the mother I was talking to said, now I'm having to plan my own Mother's Day brunch.
Yeah.
She goes, I don't want to plan anything.
Another reason Mother's Day sucks.
Right. She goes, I just want to like have a day where I just don't have to do anything or plan anything or be in charge. And I think that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, I just don't want to be in charge tomorrow, because I feel like every day during the week, I'm in charge. You know, I got to be in charge of the schedule. I got to be in charge of work. I got to be in charge of the kids and making sure they're getting to where they need to be on time. And so tomorrow, like, I just don't want to be in charge.
Well, I challenge some of these moms. One of the things that, you know, I'm in a divorce situation. I'm remarried happily, but when I went through my divorce, a lot of times the kids would be with their dads on their dad on Mother's Day, and the divorce decree, of course, says on Mother's Day you get your children.
Right.
And I was like,
no, really, you can have them.
I'm good.
Right.
And only because, I mean, thankfully they did come back at 5, so I got the best of it. So at 5 they'd come back and we do dinner, we do pizza or whatever. But I would challenge some of you moms to ask for what you need. Like, I would go to the spa with my mom. So wonderful. Lay by the pool, have a little facial. Like, that's Mother's Day. Because to me, it's a day to celebrate how hard you worked all year long, because you never get a break as a mom. So please, for some of you, I think we're not good at asking for what we need, and everybody assumes we want a big brunch and we want to go out to dinner and fight 1 billion people and wait in line. Like, no, we'd like to lay by our pool or go to the spa. So for you husbands, I'm challenging you to do something where the mom actually gets the day off to feel pampered and to feel special and not have to do more stuff and plan more parties. Yeah. You know, that's the worst.
And you know, I think a lot of people think, well, we have to, you know, give the most amazing gift to your mom. And it's, I mean, I guess it depends on your mom and if she really loves gifts. You know, I'm not a gift person. You could just give me a sweet card or whatever. And my mom's the same way. Like, as long as I send her a nice, sweet text, she's good with that. Good. You know, flowers are always nice too. Right?
Is anybody watching that cares about us?
Chris says take the day off. Thank you, Chris. Yes,
thank you.
We will.
Good man. I like him. Always like you.
I know. But it's so funny. This morning, my son came up to me and he said, "Mommy," because I was leaving to come here to do this with you, and they're gonna be with their dad tonight. And he said, "Am I gonna see you tomorrow, Mommy?" And I said, "Yeah, of course you're gonna see me tomorrow, baby." And he said, "Well, I'm just going to give you your gift now." And I was like, okay. And he comes out with this necklace, and it's this red and silver, like, clunky necklace, you know, and he's like, and you can wear it 2 ways. You can wear it long, like this, or you can tie it as double, and it becomes like a shorter necklace. And he was showing me all the ways, and I was like, that just breaks my heart. I mean, it doesn't break my heart, but it just makes me feel so sweet. Like, he had actually thought about it, got me a gift, and really wanted to give it to me early. So,
well, I love that in boys. Boys can't wait. They can never wait. They're like, they buy it, and they're like, "Can I give it to you now?" No, the birthday's in a week. No, right now. Right. Yeah. I love that. He loves you so much. He's got to do it right now. That's awesome.
Yeah. So take some time, I think, to really, you know, just honor your mother if your mother is still around. You know, if she is not, just look for the signs. Like Shannon just said, we just saw a butterfly flying by, so she knew that was her grandmother. Yeah, and it could have been my grandmother too.
I don't have to steal all the butterflies.
That's right.
There was a couple. There was one for you too.
The interesting thing about signs, and I know we've already talked about this, but the interesting thing about signs is when you recognize them, which is what we talked about, they immediately go away. Mm-hmm. So that butterfly is not still flying. It literally flew, and once you saw it, it flew away. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
How the sign...
Right in my line of sight.
When you recognize it as a sign, then it's gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, that was really sweet to me because... May is my grandmother's birthday month, as well as Mother's Day tomorrow. And my grandmother was very much, my mom and dad divorced when I was 10, and my grandmother moved in and she helped raise me. Yeah. So she was very much a second mom to me. Yeah. When she passed, it didn't feel like, well, there's your grandma.
There's my butterfly. I love it. She's like, I'm here too. We just saw another butterfly.
She's like, when you get your sign at least, so there's yours. Because she didn't see the last one. Right. So she was very much a second mom to me, and I hadn't been thinking about her today, but in that moment, definitely. So it's a very sweet holiday. It's also a very painful holiday. So the biggest thing we always say is, please take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. My favorite Mother's Day story, it was Mother's Day the very first year of my divorce. And so I don't know what I expected, but I definitely didn't expect this kind of day. Like I expected, your divorce maybe as a single mom, people would do for me or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I expected, but my mom was out of town, right. And my kids were with their dad. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't fought for them because I was like, I'll have them tonight, whatever, and I'll just rest. And I was dating somebody, and it was a year after my divorce. Yeah. So I was dating somebody, and he was like, I gotta go take care of my mom. And I was like, okay.
Tears.
Like, alone on Mother's Day. I was like, okay, cool. And so I went to my church. I went to church. I was by myself. There's a billion people and their children. I was by myself. I sat in like the second row, and I was completely alone, and I just was sobbing. And it was obviously a really powerful service. And these two African-American women were so lovely, and they went like this. They ushered me down. They said, come. And she just held me and rubbed my back the whole service, and it was so healing. And the other one was like trying to hold my hand. I mean, they were such beautiful, kind people. Yeah. And I left there, and I was like, okay, Shannon, you can like just cry all day and feel sorry for yourself, or you can think about every other single mom. And so I picked up my phone and I called every friend and client that I had that I knew was a single mom. And I told them how wonderful they were and how loved they were and what a great job they were doing as a single mom. And it was so cool to switch that script and give to others what I needed so desperately to hear. I was able to give to them. And it was turned out to be one of the best days. And actually, I called Todd, and he took me to the beach. And tomorrow, Todd marries for the first time, the love of his life. So it's interesting to bring him up because he was such a good friend to me. But he's marrying tonight, not tomorrow, tonight.
Oh.
Tonight.
You're like, what day is
it? Tonight.
That's right, he's getting married.
Yes.
Sarah says, motherhood is all about the sisterhood. I love it. Amen, yes. Sarah.
This is Sarah, the writer of the article.
Oh, okay. Hi, Sarah.
I hope
Thank
you
you
heard
so
our
much.
Shout out to you because we've been talking about you from the beginning. So if not, go back and listen.
So it is so true. Motherhood is all about the sisterhood. And I think we forget that sometimes because I know for me, being someone who's type A, in control of her whole life and making sure that everything is where it's supposed to be, it's always hard for me and has always been hard for me to reach out to other mothers and ask for help, especially after the divorce when I was like, I didn't even know whether I was coming or going. And so I think we really have to realize that people are always willing to help us. We just have to ask for that help. It's so funny because yesterday I totally forgot that my son had early release at noon.
Oh, I hate that day.
It's like
still
because I don't get off the air
Nobody does.
12:30, and normally I can get off earlier than most people because I go into work at a god awful hour, but 12 I can't get out of work till 12:30. I'm on the air till 12:30, so I can't even get home until 1 o'clock. So I have an hour that I need someone to deal with my kid, basically. And so I reached out to one of my friends, Amy, who her son also is in Trace's class. And she's like, no problem, I'll take them. You know, and I just love that. I just love that when you can reach out to people and they're always willing to help. And, you know, if they can help, then you reach out to someone else and, you know, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
But don't you think that's our greatest flaw? Like, I know still, I teach this stuff for a living. I've read all the books, blah, blah, blah. And I still, when I'm in my hardest times, I'm like, why doesn't anybody blah, blah, blah. And it's like, because they don't know. Because they're at work. They're running 1 billion miles an hour. They're just trying to survive their life. But the moment that I go, hey, can you? They're like, yes. You know, so we have to ask. Nobody is psychic. I love, that's my favorite sickest expression. You should know. No, nobody knows what you need. We have to share what we need. We have to ask for what we need. So it's so important. But the nice thing is with the sisterhood, most people say yes.
Yeah.
Or they say, you know what, I can't, but let me call Susie.
Right. Or this person's helping out. Karen says, thanks, Shannon, for helping me on my journey of being a mom to my adult children. They are grateful. Let's see more. They are grateful I know you. Heart. Thanks,
I'm
Karen.
grateful I know you. What a sweet thing to say. It doesn't get easier. Thank you, Karen, for highlighting. The other reason it can suck is that it's super hard when they're little, but then it changes when they're older, and figuring out how do we step back? How do we relinquish control? How do we be in their lives but let them have their journey, even when we're like, why are you doing that? That's not the right way. That's going to be a mess.
That is not the way I would have chosen.
Yeah, you know, it's so hard. And then, like right now, I'm in that individuating stage where my daughter's kind of like, no, I'm going to do it this way. And she's kind of got that smirk because she's like, I'm 18 and I'm going to do it my way.
And she is like your mini-me. She looks just like you. She sounds just like you.
And she's not like me. She is like me in some ways, but she's not like me in all the ways that are so cool.
Right.
Like, I love the ways that she's not like me. She does have a little feisty in her.
Yeah.
She does have a little rebel in her. She does she gives me that glazed over look like, you know, I'm not going to do anything you're saying. And I didn't have that, and I love it in her. She's got some kick. You know, she's got my mom in her. You know, civil rights activist and marching, and I'm like, no, I don't want to.
It's so funny that you say that about, you know, changing as they grow, because it's so true. I mean, I remember I always used to say, like, newborn stage for me was the hardest. Like, I did not like the newborn stage, you know? I was like, can you just have a little bit of independence? You know?
Can you hold it? Can you just hold it yourself once? Just like this.
I always said I would have more children if they came out at 2.
Mine would be 3.
Yours would be
I like
3.
them at 3.
And then, you know, it just changes so much. In fact, you know, one of my greatest gifts when I open my computer every morning, and one of my saddest moments when I open my computer every morning, is Facebook memories. I mean, who can agree with me that when they pop up a picture of your kid, you know, 5-6 years ago, when mine were so little, and you're just like, what happened to that little person? Yeah. You know,
I'll tell you what happened. You were wishing they were older.
That's true.
Because you were like, you're so demanding, you're so little, I'm so tired. Can't you please just grow up?
Can you take care of yourself? Can you put yourself to bed?
Oh, God. And then they do, and you're like, no, where are you going? Mine just left. I'm like, well, when are you be coming back? You know, like that.
She's like, don't worry, I'll be back, Mom. I know. And I'm at the stage with my 12-year-old I'm at the stage with my 12-year-old that she's just really, you know, she's
12.
getting into that, like, you know, really middle school years, and I'm just trying to navigate that with, you know, her dad and I are really trying to navigate, like, for instance, last night she was supposed to call us when she got to a specific place, and she didn't call, and then we didn't hear from her for 2 hours, and she wouldn't return her dad's text, she wouldn't return my text, and so we had a little discussion that, you know, that phone that we pay for, that's not just for Instagram.
It's actually ours.
That's so we can communicate. And if you don't communicate with us, bye-bye, that will be taken away. So we had that little discussion this morning.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there, you know, your relationship with your child will definitely change as they get older. And, you know, I just always thought my daughter would, you know, be that child that would never want to leave my house, and so I'm realizing that that's not going to be the case. Lori says, I was just saying that to a friend the other day. These Facebook memories pop up, And I just don't understand where the time has gone. I know, Lori. I saw the one you posted the other day. Lori's my friend. She posted one of her daughter, Sophia, and she was so little. And it's just like, oh my gosh. And Sophia's about Lane's age, so...
It's very scary how fast it goes. Even just, my daughter just came home from college, and I just took her up there yesterday.
I know.
I'm like, what do you mean I need to come back and get you?
You aren't old enough to have a college child.
Thank you, Cindy
You're
Crawford.
still 20. I almost pet the dog, and the dog bit me last time, so I'm like having PTSD.
She's got PTSD.
But it was
done. He tasted you. He's not interested anymore. He's like,
tastes
like chicken. He's not interested.
Oh gosh. All right. So on this Mother's Day, we just want you all to really, take care of yourself. Don't be afraid to really ask for what you need.
Yeah,
if that's to be completely alone and not have any kids around you, that's okay.
That doesn't mean you're a bad mom, because I think we do. We shame ourselves and we say, but it's Mother's Day. My kids want to be with me. I should want to be with them. And think about it. You are with them all the time. So to take that one day and say, hey, could I do something for me today? And then I'll catch up with you guys for dinner. It's okay to do that.
Yeah. And if your family is planning this big brunch and you don't want to go to a big brunch, be honest with them.
Well, not today, because it's tomorrow. So this is for next year.
Really?
I don't know if you can tell them.
No.
I
say you can be honest with them.
Really? If you can pull it off. I mean, it's tomorrow, so...
Well, I mean, if something's planned...
This is the difference is...
Okay, let me say... If something's planned at a house and they've got a whole plan in place...
flowers...
maybe you should not cancel that. Yeah. However, if you've got reservations at a restaurant and you're not into it, they can easily cancel those reservations. Someone else will easily take those, I promise you. You cannot go to brunch tomorrow anywhere. And expect to get in. No, so if you don't want to go, just say you don't want to go.
Just say no.
Just say no. It is a full sentence. Yes, it is a full sentence. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you have any show topics or show ideas, please let us know. A couple of things we do want to let you know about. Please take a moment and go to YouTube, search What Your Friends Won't Tell You, and subscribe to our channel.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, we had poor connection, but we're back. Subscribe to our channel, please. We need subscribers on YouTube. The other thing is our podcast. We are now up on podcast. Every one of our episodes you can listen to. We are on all podcasts, not just Apple. So if you have an Apple phone, you can go to your little purple icon, your podcast icon, and search What Your Friends Won't Tell You. 5-star our podcast there. We are also up on Google Play. We're up on...
What's the other one called?
Whatever. If you have an Android phone, you can listen to us. If you have an iPhone, you can listen to us.
You technological people know what we're trying to say. I'm very quiet right now.
What you're talking about. But
what she said.
But we do have. I finally found a kid, a 16-year-old kid that is helping me turn all these into podcasts. He's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you, Brendan. And so we are up on podcasts. We are on YouTube. So make sure you follow us on both of those channels. And
this part I can comment on. Please give us your ideas. We love that. We love to talk about what you want us to talk about. It's so nice to have those ideas. So please give us, send us those.
Yeah, something's coming up in your life. In fact, our next episode is going to be something that just came up in my life today that I'm like, everyone is talking about this right now. Yeah. And so our next episode is going to be on a topic that's something that's coming up in my life. So if there's something that's coming up that you're like, God, I really want some advice or some tools on how to deal with this, let us know. Shannon's really good at tools. She has a whole toolbox.
And as you can hear, Suzanne's good at everything else. All the stuff that I am not good at, she is great at. Questions, interviewing, technology, turning this machine on so we can sit here. All of it.
Yeah, well, we make a good match. That's why. Well, happy Mother's Day to you.
Happy Mother's Day.
All right,
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all of you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.